Good morning, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. My name is Jim Cagnina. I am the senior market strategist, and I am joined by Pharm somewhere out west. Pharm, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself, Jimmy?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We got the blue Pharm Capital shirt prominently displayed live this morning.
I do like my blue. I've got like 3 different shades of blue, I think. So, wife just insists on me wearing blue. I swear, it's not true at all.
Well, happy wife, happy life. That's what I always say.
That's right. So, what are we going to do today, Jimmy? You going to sell this or buy it?
I don't know. Here's the thing I'm worried about is this thing that we've been worried about for, many weeks now. And that is, okay, yeah, we have the Fed minutes coming out and they're 3 weeks old. Who cares? At 2:00, 10-year auction later on. That might move the treasuries a little bit, but who cares? It's these new slew of letters that are supposed to go out for tariffs to countries today.
Yeah. Yeah. Strongly worded. Just reminds me of strongly worded letters. I think I made this joke yesterday. We'd go on an airplane trip or something somewhere, and my mom wouldn't get a bag of peanuts, and she was like, we'd get home and I'm writing them a letter. And it would take her like 4 days, and she's asking for like $10 off her next plane ticket or something ridiculous. It just kind of reminds me of how silly that was.
Did it ever work?
Yeah, it did. But I mean, I just don't know if that's worth the time. It would take days of frustration and anger, like writing some stupid letter and get like a, I don't know, $20 voucher for a soda or something the next trip. But
imagine the satisfaction. I'm saying I'm going to go. It's worth it.
I just wonder if she ended every letter with "Thank you for your attention to this matter." I bet Trump stole it from her, to be honest.
That's the best. What the heck, man? Oh, man. I had somebody, and X, you probably saw it. Someone had posted the letter to Japan with all the typos in it. So I don't know if it was real or not, but you never know with X.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So are we still an inside day here on Spoos?
We have taken both sides of yesterday's cash hours range,
Okay.
which makes things a little bit interesting. Basically, with the inside day yesterday, we kind of treat that as a box. And the general trades are break and sustain above yesterday's high. Then we can test Monday's high, break and sustain below yesterday's low. We can come down and test Monday's low and then fade the failed breaks. Well, things got a little bit interesting today because we came down and we failed below yesterday's cash hours low. And you can see we got the ripper, we got the full rotation across to yesterday's high. And thus far, anyways, we've failed to sustain above yesterday's high. So it gets very interesting. The Qs did not make it to either side. And I find that interesting. So suggests to me that today could have a bit of fuckery involved in it. So we will see. That's not a bad word. It's a totally different word from the bad word that you're familiar with. It's something completely different. So I feel like we have to favor the bulls here, just given the persistent bullish trend that we've been in. I do still have runners long from this trade here. The look, blow, and fail of yesterday's low. And so we'll see where that goes. But break and sustain then yesterday's high, then we can get some room. So that's where we're at now. It's a strong session after that little trap during the Asia session, dropping single prints again, which this is interesting. Second week in a row, we've dropped single prints basically right on top of volume point of control, just above volume point of control for the week. So we did it back here, dropped these singles as we ripped out of that meat of that distribution. And now we've done that again here this morning. This was a cash hours last week, and this time it was ETH, but still interesting to note. We'll see how today goes.
Yeah, I mean today's distribution so far, it's kind of a double distribution. You get that little low volume node just south of that 6280 level.
Yeah, it's a healthy looking profile. We did get a VPOC shift up into these highs again. So, obviously you're having some profit taking come in. It doesn't need to be bearish, generally assumed to be bullish, shifting a VPOC into the highs. But we saw what happened yesterday pre-market, right? We had that shift They dropped VPOC, I think, right in this 82, 84 range, and then it just remained offered all day in the morning, and got a decent pullback off of it. So not always bullish to be shifting your VPOC up into the highs in a given session, because clearly it means there's plenty of people selling, and you just need enough initiative buyers to pick up the slack, buy the dip, take it higher. So will be an interesting open today for sure.
Yeah, from Monday and Tuesday, that point of control. I mean, we're talking less than 20 handle difference from where we're at right now. I mean, we've been in a 30. Let me see if I got that right. A 30 handle range so far today. So again, a small range with a 14 period ATR down to 47.83. I know we've been talking about that a lot, but it's just getting tighter and tighter.
It really is. And I mean, you can make an argument. I mean, just look at value, how narrow that is. What do we got? 62 3/4. That's for the developing week so far. 62 3/4 up to, what's that at? 80, 83.
Yeah.
Basically. So it is very, very tight. And yesterday, some similar characteristics to this week's profile compared to last. I covered this on a live stream yesterday. That was kind of fun. But you see, you basically, I'm going to hold this up just a little bit. So last week's profile, you sort of had this lower edge down here in the 30s. And all last week, we were buying dips below, 33, call it. All week, really defined this edge. You can see how the volume just drops off and tapers out into the lows. There was just, no interest. If you were short down there, you were getting wrecked. That's kind of all there was to it. And so sellers have sort of buyers, have defined the lower edge for this week right around 60, 62.60. We did have the excursion down here Monday, but look how thin the profile is. From a profile perspective, you could call that excess. This low is not an excess low, it's a horrible low. But again, to me, in a broad upward auction, I don't really care too much about how good a low is, if that's not the direction we're broadly auctioning. But very tight range. And again, for the most part, we're still dragging value higher relative to last week. It's not, some clean breakaway or anything, but, summer volume, summer months, it's still constructive, and it's just not really a surprise. We haven't been ready to go back up yet and get into, I guess it was Thursday's range, but healthy consolidation so far. So, barring, this turning into a look above and fail of yesterday's high, which now we're back above. I'm watching kind of this 92 to 93 spot. I would say 92 half to 93 half, really in this, weekly 93 to 96 range that I have here. Could potentially stuff this back in range, but you'd have to offer 82 to 84 again. You'd have to then get back through these overnight singles and back below 73 and then rotate back down. So it's a pretty tough path for sellers today, but we do have FOMC minutes, later if somehow we're still, in range. But you never know what cash is going to think. But treating yesterday's range like a box, this was a overnight look below and fail. And so it's perhaps less powerful than a cash hours look below and fail. But again, with the strength of this recent trend, I think you have to give credibility to the bulls for sure. If RTH opens and sellers, stuff this from 93 and then start working back down through the profile on a cash hours basis, then I'll be impressed and happy to join them. But unless or until that happens, I'm just riding runners personally.
Yeah, the London initial balance was positive, but only by 8 handles, so it wasn't winning any awards. But it's during that time frame we started firmly trading above the session VWAP, and there's pretty big price separation between the session VWAP and price right now. So that's pretty positive. And the 0 DTE, for those of you following gamma and resistance levels, there's a 0 DTE call resistance gamma wall at 63 even, which you'd expect that even number to have that option activity as well. So that's that'd be another challenge in my mind if we can get a breakout to the pop. Could we continue past that 6,300?
Yeah, and that's right around the weekly open. Anyways, the cash hours week open was 63.02 on Monday. So that's always worth watching and monitoring if that remains offered, since we've traded below it the entire week. And then you've got the 6 p.m. Sunday open at 7 3/4. And then you've got Monday's high, 63.09 and 3/4. Again, I generally favor 63.09 printing today if this break sustains. And, even if, we fail back below yesterday's high, as, we kind of did here, really the upper edge has been this 82.84. So since it was so well offered for the most part yesterday in particular, it's probably going to be reasonably well bid. And that's basically what you saw here. Kind of failed and it came back in. These prior pop sellers are now dip buyers, covering and exiting. And that's how price does tend to move.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like long term, not long term, but resistance becomes support. Support becomes resistance. You draw those lines, those parallel lines across your screen, and you can see it better, right?
Yeah.
And so I like that as support as well.
Yeah, and that is exactly why that happens, right? You've got prior traders on the wrong side of the tape, and now they're seeing this come back down. And if they're wise, they're getting out. Maybe now that I said that, this will reject up here in this 92, 93 range and fail back in range. That keeps it interesting because, I mean, again, I prefer to have a little bit wider ranges. This has been very narrow. I will say yesterday, a lot of traders, I posted this on X, a lot of traders absolutely hate balance days. But I mean, if you're a good balance day trader and you're okay taking both sides, this is amazing. I mean, we had one trader that made 150 handles on NQ and the entire day's range was 120. And I'm talking about per contract, not like, he took 5 contracts, multiplied out. Another one had like 75 handles or something on what it was like a 26 handle range. So if you can just trade these back and forth, those days are kind of good and easy picking sometimes, as long as you're not banking on getting follow through and giving back your gains on some of those things. So we'll see if we get a trading move after this trap last night. I mean, this was dirty. Basically 3 times we kind of wicked it by a tick. Yesterday's low came down on some little better volume. It was like, I don't know, 700 contracts in a minute. And then came back in and retested it. I was even surprised this retest came in, to be honest, after this low. I was like, oh, well, that shit's gone. Bottom. So, we'll see. Again, I'm watching this area up here, 92.5, 93.5, in particular, to see if this kind of stuffs things down. But looks great so far. And until or unless sellers crack this back down through 82, 84, back down through the singles, it's looking like we may open on a true gap up, which would be above yesterday's highest. We don't have a whole lot of room above it. So, maybe they'll keep it interesting for the next 20 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I kind of like the double bottom that, it kind of helps, me get my head around like, all right, this has been tested twice now. And look what happened after that. My bias is set right now, at least temporarily. And maybe it's going to be one of those gap up opens that you just described.
Yeah, there's no reason not to go. And again, if you look at the profile and just look how thin it gets down here, anywhere below 62, it's just saying no thanks. We don't want to go there. Same thing as last week, 62.30s. It was just saying no thanks. Value is not down there, is what that is saying. So unless something changes, we get some new information, or sellers grow a pair at the open or something and crack this back through yesterday's range.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's going to be longs for today. And again, I would be happy for sellers to step in and get some volatility, widen out some ranges. I would still be ultimately looking for longs in if that were to happen, even if we got like 62.30s again. But it looks like they're going to disappoint us once again and let this thing rip.
Well, we're waiting for Stowe. I don't know if Stowe is with us today or not. He is with us today. So he's a master at getting along at the highs. He's good at it.
Is that what we need? You probably need me to buy IWM calls again. But last time I actually made money on it. That's just end of the world type things right there. So yeah, we're about to jump off here, but watch this 92.5, 93.5, maybe up to 96 spot. Maybe it's stiff and it can change the tone of things for the next 15 minutes. We'll see. Not optimistic, but that would be interesting if they did that.
Very awesome. Well, Pharm, thanks for being here with us again. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow morning, same time, abbreviated schedule, everybody. By the way, welcome chat. We'll be at 9 o'clock again tomorrow, and then Friday is going to go back to 8 o'clock. So, Pharm, have a great day. Thanks for being with us.
You too, and happy birthday to Deli if you're out there watching.
It's very good. All right, we have the one and only Trader Kane in the house. Kane with the green background. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah. How have you been, man?
I've been better. I mean, my car got hit into this morning, but it is what it is. So,
Were you driving it, or was it parked, or what happened?
yeah, I was coming back from the gym. So, like, I live in the middle of this. Like, I live in the sticks. So the roads out towards my house are like small, narrow, fit two cars, like whatever. And as I come around the corner, as I was approaching a corner, a van came around on the opposite side of the road and just smashed straight into my car. So yeah, bit unfortunate. No one's hurt, but
Good.
My car is it's just annoying, you know. And like I kind of said this on Twitter, it's just these external factors. I'm in a bad mood regardless of my smile, and yeah, it's just annoying, Jim. So yeah, and then obviously we've got FOMC minutes today. We've got the tariff bullshit that we want to call it, whatever. Let's call it what it is, looming, and NQ looking like it wants to rip, but sellers at the open the last 2 days have kind of, you know, had other ideas. But yeah, tough day probably.
Yeah. Well, I love your. You mentioned something in your X post, and everybody follow Kane on X. It's how your mood could translate into affect your trading, and that's 100% true, right? There's so psychological what we do, so much mental toughness just to be able to walk away and not make mistakes. And when you have an incident like this, it just upsets you. It could be anything. You're not in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I track my sleep extensively. I also track my stress levels via different monitors and stuff like that. And it's just like these external factors of, I don't know, just be extreme. Someone that you know passing away, or, you know, some unfortunate event, whatever that may be. Like, they typically have been the worst times I've traded, right? Those external factors, because they're obviously at play in my trading. I'm just not fully aware of it. So, yeah, it's good. I just journal a lot of my emotions, the way I feel about myself before my trading day. So, yeah, and the first thing today was, before I even opened the journal, I was just like, could feel the rage inside of me, you know? I was just like, yeah.
Oh, no.
The chart is the least of my worries right now, and what Nasdaq and ES and the sellers or the buyers are going to do with it. But overall, I have a pretty bullish bias. So I kind of mirror what Pharm was just saying, and I know I say that a lot, but we typically share the same idea. But yeah, look, this for me, it's this Monday low trading below this prior Thursday low. You know, this basically immediately got wiped out, and I just like to see this profile just do this, right? This is just an extended, and this will just trade up here. And especially when we're all-time high, again, I just simply go to the daily chart, and sorry, just let me zoom in. It's like this down move here, regardless of a all-time high, this down move here got immediately pushed through. Just simple support and resistance. This is probably going to hold, combined with that previous day sweep on the Monday. And then the sellers getting exhausted in the afternoon just tells me there are a lot of buyers in the indices right now and pushing it higher. And I'm kind of just waiting for either a break at the open. Probably not going to play the break, but I would just simply wait for some sort of pullback to then just play that. So I'm similarly, yesterday I was looking to fade these pops. I'm looking to fade the drops today. So yeah, relatively bullish, but like I said, until the open, I don't actually know.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I mean, and I was talking to Pharm, as you heard, and I think we all do, that we're looking for that RTH gap, and then we'll see what happens if we get a pullback. Pull the trigger, hit the buy button. But we're up against the Truth Social, anything goes news cycle, so you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm growing to hate Twitter because of Donald Trump, because everything that comes on Twitter is just impacting the market in some way. And I'm just getting a little bit bored of it. I just want the market to desensitize to all of this stuff, get the headwind of most of the tariff stuff out of the way, and let's just get the markets back to some normality, because we're either expanding in one direction with no pullback, or we're just consolidating for something else. And I just want those expansive pullback, expansive markets that personally favor me. And right now, these market conditions are just not there for me right now. The model's there, but it's just like yesterday, bullish bias, great. If I bought the open yesterday and sold the close, I probably made money. But at the same time, like, as in, when I say the open, I mean the ETH open, right? If I bought the open and sold the close, I made money. But at the same time, I had to sit through all of this bullshit yesterday. And it's just like all the way up, all the way down, all the way back up, all the way back down. Like what I said, if you're a range-bound trader and you can identify a range pretty early on and trade these ranges, yeah, these days are great for you. They're not great for me. Like, this is a mental preservation day for me. I see the range, we push above the open, we pull back, we use it. At this point, I'm expecting that previous day low again, and we don't get it. And now we're looking like we're going to push to the upside. So with that thought in mind, who knows? We probably could just have a bearish day, right? So I'm open to anything, Jim, right now.
I got it. Well, there's some days you got to be, right. You just, it's what the tape's telling you for sure. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm kind of looking at the NASDAQ also, and it's pretty similar, a little different. And then the E-mini S&P, again, a little different, a little similar. So a lot of correlation going on between the two right now. We'll see if we get some breakouts or not. But I'm talking about the E-mini S&P. The range today has been 30 handles, and the 14-period ATR is down to 47 handles. We were over 100 like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it just seems like we're just contracting ranges. And maybe that's a normal summer trade idea. I don't know, but you would think you'd have some more, breakout potential either way with the crazy news cycle. I don't know.
Yeah, either the market is just waiting for something, i.e. the tariff news to unfold in the coming days or week, or it just doesn't care about it, and everyone's off partying. The big money is just enjoying life and not actually present in the market right now. I don't know. I don't care right now. I just don't really like the price action. I want to stick long as much as I can, especially when we're all-time high. I like to ride that trend until I take too many paper cuts, and then I'll play the rotation lower. I'm looking forward to the rotation lower because I know that the rotation lower is going to lead to a larger move higher, and that's what I'm more excited for. So right now I'm counting the pennies in the investments, and the day trading's taking a bit of a backseat, and I'm trying to just enjoy life a bit more and trade a bit less. But yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of that, were you able to get out to the British Grand Prix?
I did not, actually. No, I was in Amsterdam at a music festival, and the weather there was just as bad as it was here. So, no. But what do you think the Oscar penalty was bad? I don't know. I think it was probably warranted. But at the same time, weather was awful. Like, they couldn't see a thing, and I get the logic that he probably tried to justify that he was trying to slow down and give the car the length for when he wanted to start his lap. But I mean, if there's a guy that can push the rules, right, it's Verstappen, and he knew what he was going to do, so he could just preempt that. I don't know. There's something there, but yeah, I didn't watch it. A good race overall, though, and I'm personally happy for a Lando win, but that's obvious, right?
Well, it's funny. It was obvious that Oscar and Lando, there was some tension after that race between the two. They were not high-fiving each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Devin raised a good point. I just saw this. Christian Horner got sacked today.
What?
Interest. Yeah. It's like official. It's everywhere. Yeah, Red Bull Racing announced the departure of Christian Horner. I mean, look, I don't wish anyone being out of a job, and this guy is very fortunate enough that he would never need to work again. But if there's one person I hate in Formula One, it's this guy. Oh my Lord. It's just, yeah. But this is a typical, I imagine what this is a Verstappen basically has fallen out with him in some way, and Red Bull have sided with Verstappen over Christian. That'd be my guess. And they've sided, he's probably,
Yeah, that's a good, I mean, he's an unlikable fella. And not only that, he just shoots himself in the foot all the time. So
I think it was really ballsy of him the other day to say in front of Zach Brown, "What's your plan for replacement for Max Verstappen if he leaves?" Oscar Piastri, and he said it to Zach Brown's face. Yeah, that was ballsy of him. So, yeah, I don't know. Formula One's interesting. It's actually shaping up to be a good second half of the year. We're going into the break now. And who knows? My attention may shift to Formula One, and you'll see me in different hotel rooms across the world, Jim. Like in terms of on the stream, just so anyone gets any ideas.
I like it. One last thing on F1. I love the fact that Hulkenberg got on the Hulkenberg. I say his name wrong.
Hulkenberg,
he got on the podium for the first time. That was sweet.
Yeah. That's been a long time coming, right? Like I think they all deserve at some point, especially when they've been racing in Formula One for a good number of years, to hit a podium. So it's always good to see those, I guess, lower tier drivers or lower team drivers get those outliers and land on the podium, because that must be the best feeling in the world, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Kane, I appreciate you being here with us, NinjaTrader Live this morning. I'm going to pop over to the chat, let you do your thing. And if you play some trades, best of luck.
Appreciate you. Have a good day, Jim.
Thanks, man.
Chat, how are we? How's everyone? Good morning. The infinite bid is back, only for today though. We'll see. What camera am I using? This is an FX3. Good morning, Orderflow Kane. Yeah, sorry, wait. I need the Orderflow Kane isn't present right now. It's 6 o'clock. He is present now. There you go. I'm back. What's good? Hope everyone's well. Glad you're okay. It's annoying, but safety first. Yeah, it's just the way it happened, to be honest, Maria. It's just like the guy drove off. I literally chased after him. Yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating just to get his details. And then I didn't know. Well, you didn't know you hit my wing mirror off of my quite large car. You didn't hear the noise. Yeah, it was crazy. How old am I? I'm 31. Jeez, I shouldn't have said that. I'm 29. I'm 21. Yeah, it's wild. Put me in a really bad mood. I went straight to Mercedes, got a quote for repair. It's going in a couple of days, but it's just annoying. You know, it's just frustrating. External factors, like I said on Twitter, these external factors for me are just like some of the worst things that happen in my trading, however small or large. Yeah. Ideally, I want to see a push up above into these like 23K level maybe, and then a pullback, but we'll see. These market conditions suck for me. I'm just caveating it for a lot of people. They do. They just suck for me. So, and like I said to Jim, we've got FOMC minutes later, and then we've got the tariff letters going out, or letters. I assume they'll just go via email. Don't know why they're calling them letters, but my G got broken into. No, I got smashed into. It's not a bad accident. It's just frustrating, you know. Do I trade gold? I've been looking at gold a little bit, but no. Which trend line am I using? I'm not using a trend line. This is that daily high that I was looking at getting taken out yesterday. That's taken. ES also took it. But the open literally happening right now. A couple of seconds away now. So we'll see. Ideally, I would just like to see some sort of opening range break. Sellers the last 2 days have sold it off. I'm sure my dad will sort it. Why would my dad sort it? Yeah, they're just sending this. That is unfortunate. This is my other target. I can't long up here. It's just so sad. So sad. Should have longed off of this, really. Yesterday's open, sorry. Mid. Swing, push. Just can't. No entry for me down here. Push. I would have liked to have actually faded this. So we'll see. We'll see. Horner's out. Yeah, look, the news from the Formula One stuff could be taken one of two ways, right? Either Verstappen's out and Red Bull are unhappy with the way that Horner dealt with it, or Verstappen's staying and he wanted Horner out. Because I don't think it's a hidden fact. Verstappen and his dad really don't like Christian Horner. But like Jim said, Christian makes it a very easy job to make himself unlikable. So really, I'd just like to see a test of, funny enough, a test of this overnight VWAP right now, because it aligns with the level that I want to see here. Mercedes need to buy him out at 105 mil. I'm sure Toto has got the money. This is just a Fibonacci drawing that I butcher into a 50%. Yeah, we'll see. We're heading into 63s on 6300 on ES. I mean, last year's scandal. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some truth to that. There's no smoke without fire. So, I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, we'll see. We'll just look. If anything, it just shapes up for a better second half of the season, right? Yeah, I do use the weekly open actually. I used it today. Actually, I was looking at it today. So it's just like this was reclaiming above that weekly area. I want to see it either push above, or this is an open low, high close, like some weekly PO3. Thing is like, I always like to put myself in the shoes of someone that potentially got long here, like thinking, gap up, oh my God, we're breaking out, whatever. If I, for whatever reason, endured most of this pain, where am I looking to close? Yeah, it's going to be a juicy drive to survive. You're right, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we're just talking about Formula One. There's a bunch of us that watch it here. So only thing that I've got my eyes on right now is some sort of divergence here. I would need to see a confirmation. Otherwise, it's going to be a very slow day for me, in all honesty. Try not to make my small loss already on the day in the form of the car into a big loss. And like I've said a few times, I could really go on tilt doing this. Yeah, I agree with you, Ian. I could also see where it's heading. So I could make an argument for getting long here, right? Like this 2 a.m. level. I don't really like to trade before 3. So let's just say at 3, how would I have got long here? Well, I don't really have an option. I don't really have a choice. The only way I could have really got long is 3 opened, trade lower, we swept, trade into this at this, I guess, midnight level, basically, which just marks the midnight open, and then just traded higher. It's a characteristic of a really bullish day. And then we have the open, we push above, marking out basically, if we just mark out these opening prices for the last 2 days, low, high. So I just like to visualize with using the opening price for the sessions is this was open on Monday, this was open on Tuesday, this is open on Wednesday, this is just the low to now the high. So if tomorrow we were to open up between these or, a push higher, pull back, do something like this, then I'd be a buyer again tomorrow. Ultimately, though, there's no entries for me here. And I know that some people are like, well, if you're bullish, just get along, like whatever. Yeah, like cool. That doesn't really work for me. And I said this a few times, is like mentally I need to be able to withstand the drawdown, and I can't at these. Yeah, I mean, I was just drawing, right? What the crayon drawings. We all like to get the notebook out sometimes. Come on. Call me Picasso, you know what I'm saying? All-time high incoming. Yeah, probably can't. Why the rally? It's just running. Just thoughts on Central C? Think his music's good. I imagine he's actually quite a nice person. Seems pretty genuine. I don't know. I don't really know him that well. I dated a girl that knows him pretty well. She actually does his nails, but yeah, she said he's really nice. And when I say does his nails, just cuts them. Literally just cuts them. I'm not going to Spa Track. I'm not going to. Good morning, Pax. Good morning. Sorry, I missed that message. I'm actually not going to any racing track. My car is not built for racing. It's a 4x4 that weighs 3 tons with nearly 1,000 horsepower. That thing doesn't like going around bends. That's when you know you've made it. Pay someone. Thought Central C was out there doing French tips. Wimbledon final tickets. Actually, so Wimbledon did this sale the other day, right? Where they just sold the next 5 years of the Wimbledon finals tickets up front, and you're able to resell the tickets. They made, I think it's a crazy number. Let me Google it. It was like a crazy, they sold it for like 170K, and they made like 150 mil. Yeah, so they made a crazy amount. So, I don't know, but Wimbledon finals tickets themselves for like a good seat, you're looking like 50K a ticket, by the way. Like finals, men's finals day, minimum 50K a ticket. QQQ just filled the gap. Yeah. Accumulation. It's crazy, right? Gap up, gap down, rebalance, gap back up. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No, I'm not looking to fade this right now. I'm actually just looking to get on side with it, but I can't get on side up here. Nvidia all-time high, Palantir. I think Palantir made all-time high, right? Planet Fitness. Yeah, made all-time high last week. What else? Facebook's on a bit of a run. Jeff Bezos sold $616 million worth of his Amazon stock. That also made a new all-time high. It's lagging today. What's going on? Google. I think Google's the lagging one. What? That's not Google. Yeah, look, Google made an all-time high back in February, but it's lagging right now. If the market slumps, we could get this bit of a sell-off. I think the rest are pretty much ripping. Yeah, Tesla also pretty slow. Interesting. What else is in there? Amazon, Google, Meta. We didn't look at Amazon. Yeah. This is Jeff Bezos' level of selling $660 million of his Amazon stock, which I imagine is a very small percentage of it because the guy's worth quite a lot. It's one of those days to just buy and walk away. Yeah, but the thing for me is like, okay, you buy here. Where's your stop loss? Under the open range? Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's under here. We can have a 100-point stop. And then let's just say this is the top for the day, hypothetically, and we do this, and we don't hit your stop loss, and we don't come back to entry, and we just sit in here all day, like we did yesterday, then you're screwed. Of course, if it runs, then you're laughing, 100%. But like, I always have to have a planned exit for my trade. And up here, well, I could be wrong all the way until here. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I could long here, and I would want to see price do this, and I would just be annoyed down here, and then I'd need to put my stop under here. So for me, it's just this awful risk to reward, you know? Where has this come from? Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. If you long this, like you long this opening range here, I agree with you. Stop loss here, after a move up, you know, good. I mean, this is 50 points now. You're break even. 100%. I agree. Why shortfall? Nvidia is pumping. Okay, so two things. I wasn't sure, and that makes you the fool. Isn't it funny and quite ironic that is the case? Yeah, TLM's been pretty difficult. Can't lie. Doesn't suit trendy one-sided markets, and I've said that a bunch of times. So yeah, but the good thing about it is there will be a day that it will mark out the low. You know, we'll get in on a good low, and we'll be able to ride that. I guess if you're super quick trading on the DOM like PAX, these days are pretty smooth trailing. Yeah, look, if I was a trillionaire, I'd be a trillionaire. I'm not a trillionaire, you know, like it's a lot of good if statements. But the reality is that's just not me, you know, and I completely understand and I appreciate that people are killing it in this market. But also trading the way I trade made me a millionaire multiple times over. So why on earth would I change it just because someone else is winning? That's how you get stuck in this loser mentality, by the way. You chase the new shiny thing in the distance because you're having a hard time. Well, I know you're not. I'm just saying, I agree with you, but like there are so many people that will consistently tell me, like, you should adjust, you should do this. Well, let's compare me to you for a split second. Ego aside, I made a lot of money trading the market. Okay, my model is not profitable in all market conditions, but the average market conditions, it's highly profitable. Okay, we get the outliers, fine. Then I just walk away. Sick. Or I change my strategy, forget everything that made me a millionaire and lose it all, trading someone else's strategy and learning. Nah. Come on, man, you were just lucky gambler with old Apex rules. I gambled for 70 days in a row with, you know, consistent winning, consistent losing small. Sure. If I did that, then you do it. If it's so easy. Oh, by the way, ask ChatGPT the probabilities of being, there you go. If I gambled the market 72 days in a row on a coin flip, what are the statistics in coming out profitable for 70 days of those 74 days? Here you go. This is the chances as a percentage of being able to do that. There you go. I'm probably the luckiest person alive. I know you can't see it. I put the number in the chat. Holy hater, brother. He even needs ChatGPT to prove he's lucky. God. Basically, the effective chance of doing that for that long is 0. Previous diet. Yeah. This is a really good area potentially to reverse from. I'm not really looking to fade it right now. Everything's kind of telling me that we're going up. Oh, it's funny, right? Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. This indicator is actually the TT fractal model. I just butcher it, cut it out with what I want, and yeah. And I just like to use this, really. Stop responding to haters. No, I enjoy it. It's funny. I mean, look, I've learned this the hard way. Your haters are your biggest fans, you know? I've never been envious of someone that I didn't want to be like. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of expected, right? Like yesterday's kind of daily profile, that sideways profile expects expansion in one day, and we probably go up. Yeah. Weekly open becomes support, yeah. I mean, look, I have zero attachment to the reaction from it, right? In terms of people want to hate, they can hate. On it says more about them than me. But every time I can simply look back and say, yeah, I'm a hater. I'm just being a hater. Like, it's because I have some sort of jealousy towards that person. And that's okay. I can admit that. I just don't do it anymore. Do I do mentorships? Nope, I do not. At least I don't have one running right now. So for shorts, I actually can't short this at all, really, here, because this is just so bullish, and it was our job to find a reason to get long. So basically, from 8 o'clock, how could I have got long? Well, I could have got long here on this break, realistically. The truth is, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I don't think I will be able to take a trade, no, unless we get some sort of pullback. I'm not a top longer. I just don't do that. Or I could just flip a coin and go, do I go up or do we go down? If not being live here, would you have closed your charts by now? The truth of the matter is I would have. If I wasn't scheduled to be live today, I probably just wouldn't have opened my charts. Like I said, I had a, I don't want to call it a car crash. No one was hurt. And the cars were still okay. But I had a run in with another car today, and I would just rather have not been here, or not been looking at the charts. I'm glad I'm here. I enjoy the Ninja streams and I enjoy the Ninja chat, but I don't enjoy trading when it's like this, right? Yeah, let's flip a coin. I'll just ask ChatGPT. Flip a coin and tell me the outcome. Associate long and short to heads and tails. How long have we been trading for? 10 years. Let's do it. Heads equals long, tail equals shorts. Flipping the coin, result heads. There we go. We'll put a 250 tick stop loss. We'll put 250 ticks take profit. There we go, chat. Honestly, I think it's a bit suicidal if you long. Again, it's pretty hard, right? No, sorry, short. This is just not optimal market conditions to engage in. How would you have traded this move up? It's really hard. The only time I could have traded is down here. And I know this marks a low, but it's the only thing that makes sense to my model. This is the 4-hour open. Sorry. Yeah, this is the 4-hour open. Trades below the previous 4-hour low. Creates a gap, retrades, uses it as support. This is the area. The truth of the matter is I would be way out of this trade by now. This trader, mate, uses ChatGPT. Obviously, I'm not actually trading this. You would see if there was a trade open. But yeah, there's just no real way for me to trade this after the open, especially when we run. Personally, I just wait for 10, see what 10 does. And then, yeah, I wish you held. It's better to pay yourself on days like this, though, right, than not. You kick yourself a round trip now, that's for sure. What are my thoughts on the first presented fair value gap? So the first presented fair value gap is just the opening range today, right? Like, let's just break that down. This is the first presented fair value gap. Stop loss under here, whatever. You never get an entry for one, but it just overlaps with the opening range most of the time, right? No, I can't trade till 10. That's actually the rule of my model. I can't trade till 10. After the 6 a.m. candle expands, I can't touch the 6 a.m. candle in either way. I have to wait for the 10 a.m. candle. I see said the 9:30 doesn't count. Wow. 9:30 doesn't count. So which of these would count? Let's just someone tell me what the first presented fair value gap would be, and I'll tell you why it doesn't make sense. I also just don't know the rules of this stuff, you know. I actually trade the London session the most, in full honesty. It's the session I enjoy the most. Looks like it would be the 9:45 candle. This would be the first presented. So we just ignore this gap here. This is 9:31. So right now it has to be this. Okay, numbers, man. I have moved away from crypto from a day trading perspective. I definitely still own and buy crypto for long term, but I play the long game on it now. Not interested in, Nvidia becomes the first company to reach 4 trillion market cap. Yep. It's kind of crazy. Do you think it will reach Thursday's Asia high? I have no idea what it will do. It's definitely just bullish, right? Why is 10 a.m. so important? Because if we go back and look at solid reversals off of highs, like let's just talk this one through, right? If we mark out this and do this, where does this reverse from? This is 10 a.m. This is 6 p.m. Gets immediately obliterated. 10 a.m. Trades lower. This is 2, 6, 10. 10 goes sideways. Here, what time's this? This is 6. This is 2. This is 10. More or less marking the high. So like from a statistical perspective, like 10 normally marks a high and a low if we reverse. Bet Stowe was adding the whole way up. I hope he was. I want to see everyone win, like ultimately. It's painful for me to just participate in these market conditions. But everybody that is participating, I hope you're on the right side of the market, you know? Yeah, maybe. Kane, your trading journey is similar to what an F1 driver's career journey, and why? I don't know, you tell me. It seemed like a bit of a statement, then you asked me a question. I've never made that claim, just to be clear. I mean, me and Lance Stroll share zero characteristics, right? Son of a billionaire. See, I'm taking the extreme. But yeah, I don't know why I would. Don't know why I would be. Voltage trading has been very boring. I haven't done a whole bunch of it. And it's just been super low time frame. It's super short, which I don't really encourage anyone to do. So I guess the trading that I've been doing in the public domain has been fading longs and fading moves up and probably getting either stopped or stopped break even. My winning percentage right now is probably quite low, in all honesty. Can I check the DAX? No. But yeah, overall, it's not. There's nothing that's going on in the market that I'm super shocked about. After a certain pivot, you know, at some point I was like, okay, I need to get on side. I just was chasing the move lower to then get long, and then we just get consistently long. I can't get consistently long on constant up moves. And yes, okay, fine. I could have got long on Monday, and I could have got long on Tuesday, and I even could have got long this morning. The reality is I'm just not at the charts at these times. These areas are giving me good longs. Wednesday was nice. Take out Wednesday low, retrade into this. This opens here. Shadow wick, expansion. All characteristics of a move higher. It's not giving me the entry criteria that I require for a trade. What do you mean? I don't have a 99.9% win rate? I think the probabilities of that are almost as high as having being a gambler for 72 days consistently and making money. 0. Seen your podcast about you not having a watch, but just heard a click. What did you buy? This is my Whoop, bro. I put my Whoop on. But I did buy a watch. So, yeah. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. QQQ just took all-time high. No show. No show. Show your... No. This is a Whoop. It tracks my sleep, tracks my stress, tracks my workouts, tracks all these things. How do you handle the FOMO after this move? I have no FOMO right now. And the reality is this is the way I always... Okay, let's just simply sit here and say, I can make a good justification as to why this might be a good long here. Yeah? Let me just hypothetically say, we break out of here. I want to see a 2-hour run higher, right? Okay. So if we do this... How annoyed am I going to be? Probably quite a lot. If we do this, how annoyed am I going to be that I just cut here? Probably quite a lot. Okay, so now let me ask the question. If we pull back into an area that I'm interested in longing from, and we trade back up into these highs, and then do this, am I going to be annoyed if I close here? No, I'm not, because that's my model. So I'm just looking for the outcome that's going to keep me the least annoyed. Yeah, Ian, I know you're having a joke. I know you're having a joke, bro. What's my sleep score? So I actually use 8 Sleep to track my sleep score, which is the bed. It cools you down, heats you up, and tracks your sleep. So my sleep score for yesterday was 91. 100% quality, 80% consistency. Time slept was 6 hours and 50 minutes. The SMT indicator is private. It's just an indicator that I have. Can tell you don't have kids. Hey, everyone's life choices are different, right? Oh, this is going to be horrible if this sets up. Do I want kids? Yeah, I'm impartial about it, to be honest. If for whatever reason I didn't have kids in my lifetime, I wouldn't be devastated. But also at the same time, I think the idea of having kids is quite nice. Gucci forearm. Oh, it's just a snake. What the hell is forearm about? What's Gucci about my forearm? What's forearm about my Gucci? Weirdos in the chat. Okay, trust me, you don't want kids. No one tells the truth about this. Really? I don't know, bro. I have a lot of siblings and they all have kids. And yeah. What's the stigma about trendline traders? I don't know. It's just a very basic way of trading, isn't it? I think Tory gets a lot of stick for that. Are they rich? What, my nieces and nephews, or my siblings? I wouldn't want to be your kid. That was really horrible. Okay, so I will officially fade this if we get a closure below here. I would be risk off very quickly, and I have no doubt that this will end up getting hit my stop loss will end up getting hit from it. But it is just how I have to trade, and it's also pretty good to accept this. I almost feel I'm going to get stopped. So you know, when you know, I'm safe from the sound bites this week. Okay, I'm just gonna go in one. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. This closure doesn't count for me. ES making a new low. I absolutely hate this, but it is the model. If we get a closure, we get it. Was the Kane course just a short vid? What? It's horrible now. So basically, I'm just looking to trade this right now. You went short. It could be quite painful. Do you know the sucky thing? Kane, you know me. This is not what? Okay. For over 15 years. Yeah, bro, I don't know. Unless you tell me who you are, I don't know. I have a lot of people in my life called Oliver. Oliver, 15 years. No, they're controlling me. Think you're trolling. Think you're trolling me. Okay. Let's see how we get on. I'll wait for the order to get hit before I put my TP in. Am I polyamorous? No. Appreciate you, OG. Again, I don't know who you are either. Everyone uses aliases online, so I would love to say thank you to the person that I assume I know you in some way. But yeah. Can we just focus on the trading? Jeff, we can do whatever I want to do. And if I want to focus on the trading, then I will. But also at the same time, I'm almost assuming that this stop loss is gonna get hit. So we'll see. Right, I'm in one. TP's at 23k, which just so happens to be the open today. We'll see. Good luck. Can we focus on my? Oh, okay. Now I know who you are. Yeah, but bro, like I one of my best friends is called Oliver, and I'm like texting him like, "Yo, you in my YouTube chat right now?" And he's like, "No." So I was just like, "Okay, I don't know who this is." Now I know. Now my dad actually said he saw you the other day. Can you focus on my love life? They're stacking the offer. Is that good or bad for me, Khan? I'm so funny. Why? Oh, it's a nice little push. Is my TP my logical liquidity target and discount? Nah, to be honest, it's not. It's just this minus this is the standard deviation pool. Ultimately, though, for that TP to be active, we have to do this. Oh, that is not how it's supposed to go. It has to do this, close below here. Until then, this is risky. Hence why it's small size. But it's not too far, right? Like discounts here. This is this. I'm not expecting a full reversal. I just wouldn't mind some pullback, you know. When do I stop? Switch my stop loss. At this point, it would most likely be here. Until then, I kind of just have to suck it up. But this is looking grindy upwards. Like the bid is just rounding out here. Like these wicks failing to make new lows. But yeah, like I said, when I took this trade, it's the model. Pretty good actually. It's a very nice setup, but I am expecting for it not to play out, which is why it's sized the way it's sized. Which is just a good habit to get into in general, right? What made me take it? Yeah, it's just my model really. Significant liquidity sweep inversion at a significant time, 10 a.m. Bang bang, boom. This usually would mark the high of the candle. For me right now, though, I just want to see this 15-minute close lower. ES is trading a lot lower. So yeah, this divergence could annoy. This divergence could fuck me here. But the reality is we have this divergence as well, right? And now we have this divergence. I'm just highlighting. So for me, this is the model. I just have to accept that either this is going to continue to grind, which is fine. But in the event that it doesn't do that and we get that pullback and we sell off, am I going to kick myself for doing this? Or should I just size on the basis that this trade doesn't play it? This trade is not going to play it out, but it's my job to click the model and I just let it do its thing. That's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. T-Trades uses equilibrium completely opposite of you. Are you aware of that? I'm sure I'm aware of that. Can you explain how that works out? Yeah, but at the same time, me and T have had numerous conversations around why that does make sense. Because he's looking to trade those expansion candles and he uses the equilibrium as an invalidation. I'm looking to trade those expansion candles away from equilibrium. Same logic, but like if the way I use premium discount, the only time that we rarely go and trade into 50% of a market is after a large gap up or gap down. It could be an extended time period. And actually you have to ignore some of the very early data on NQ. Like, and I'm talking like down here. 19, nope. A lot more. Here. Because this rally out of here is so unbalanced, right? Out of this low to here. It's so unbalanced from here to here that if you draw premium discount and do it to the rules, this is the anchor at 1K. Because this overall, again, just never rebalances into 50% of this. So it just ends up becoming like down here, which is just not the case, right? So if you ignore that and apply the logic I use for premium discount, pretty much the entire market has rebalanced at many a point. Okay, so it's 50-minute closed. So now I'm just looking for an expansion lower. This now becomes my area that I probably get risk off because, again, we're in a very trendy market. So here I would just trail my stop loss to here. And then here I would trail my stop loss to break even. So just got identified. Yeah, it was the 15-minute low, new 15-minute candle. So now I have a new low. Yeah. Would I not want to wait to see a Yeah. But so T just uses the equilibrium as a reason for his basically his tight stops, and I use them as when T trade gets stopped or whatever. He uses equilibriums of candles. I use equilibrium of ranges. We use different EQs, basically 50%. Taking so long, it most likely won't work. I agree. The more we hang around here, the less probability. Let me check this real quick. Probably spike up and then dump. The ninja chart setup is confusing. Why? What do you mean? Oh, the setting up of the NinjaTrader chart. Is that what you're talking about? Or I'm confused. Sorry. Probably lost in some sort of communication. The setting it up. Yeah, sorry, I actually can't help you there. I rarely have to set it up. Any setup that I have done of it, I've had help. Yeah. It looks very nice, but the time it's taking not so good. Yeah, we should see some quick delivery. We're not seeing that, but ultimately, that's why I just get risk off when we start to take out some of these lows. We may just get an expansive, like a rangy move lower like this, and then a flush, and then a retrace, which is why this area is, for me, getting completely off. We'll see. Luckily for me is I have a plan, and until that happens, I sit and do nothing. What is the size? Oh, it's at 1,000 minis. It's definitely not 1 mini. This is a Kane special NQ contract that the CME make for me. One is actually 1,000. Yeah, I was having margin problems. Um, 1,000 contracts would be, I think, quite a bit more than $1 million. Well, you'd need $1 million if the contract requirements for 1,000. No, you wouldn't. Yeah, you would. But you, at that point, margin is not given to you. When you have, yeah, you don't get margin on that size contracts. Good luck getting filled at 1,000 contracts. You would get filled. I could guarantee you would get filled. If you gave me an unlimited amount of money, I could definitely get you filled 1,000 contracts. But the reality is your entry would be horrible because you would just ramp this up, right? You would just go, well, 1,000, and you would just click sell or buy. Okay, I'm just trailing a little bit. I'm really bad at math. Yeah, that is a true. That is truth. I am really, really bad at math. Jesus Christ, Thomas. Of course I wouldn't mark it into 1,000 contracts. I was just saying, if you want to get filled at 1,000 contracts, someone said good luck getting filled. Okay, but you could officially, by the book, get filled at 1,000 if you market sell. Of course you wouldn't market sell. I caveated it with your entry would be horrible. But let's just ignore the statement and cut out a bit to push a square peg through a round hole. all this solidifies is you are the idiot, not me. Lord Almighty. I've fully lost my mouse. Daddy, chill. No, I'm good. It's just hilarious. My mouse is back. It was stuck on my other screen. Man's internals are selling hard. Hardwired is wireless. Yeah, the index isn't moving. I just moved 54 ticks, so that's all I care about. What was the trigger? I mean, look, we just tagged the all-time high, right? We do naturally see some sort of pullback from there. We took a 4-hour high, we took an hourly high, and the prior 15-minute herd, which was part of the hourly and the 4-hour, had traded above the high and closed back inside. I'm expecting, by the definition of the fractal model that some of you are aware of, is that this candle should expand, right? At least lower, should trade lower. So for me, that's what I'm looking at. I have one other criteria for getting break even is if ES trades below this low. Bro, is NQ, you can get filled anyways. Give me $10 million. I'll get you filled 1,000 contracts at the price you want. Deal. I could do that. I've done 250 contracts. I could do that 4 times over. Pretty confident on that. Yeah, I'll pocket 6 mil of the money just to prove the point. But yeah. When do I move stop? When ES either takes out that prior 15-minute low at 10:08 or NQ takes out sorry, I've got something blocking my screen, at the 9:45 low. Until then, I'm risking 64 ticks. Biggest trade of ever, contract size, 250, between 250 and 300. Yeah, it's silly size. I mean, it's just when I'm on a run, I can just really step the foot. I can just keep increasing the contract size. Of NQ E-mini, roughly 2,000 to 3,000 margin requirement per contract. So yeah, it's a $700 to $1 million real life money trade. How do you keep your cool with that size? I mean, look, it's pretty nerve-wracking risking a house on a trade. Why would I trade that big? Why not? Is the question. First conjure contract trade. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't like this, to be fair. And I understand why Alex is long. So I actually don't like this because this is a 15-minute gap. We now have this opposing SMT. Yeah, it's a little bit tough. A little bit tough, chat. I'm going to stick with it. I'm risking, like I said, I'm risking 60 ticks here. 64, 16 points, 16 point stop. Why do I risk so small now? The market conditions suck for me. There's just no which way about that. But yeah, of course, that's why the trade is not playing out quick enough. You're so right. We should give TTFF a pay rise. My VWAP from the RTH session is not present on my chart. Duh. Oh, wait a minute. That is my criteria hit for going break even. Okay, break even for me roughly is always 3 ticks ish, roughly. So break even, up 91, just running a little bit. VWAP touched, close. If we fail through VWAP, I'll add. How about that? Do the absolute opposite. No, I won't. I'm a pussy. I just don't really want to do that today. Okay, so let me talk it through people through like going from trading 1 mini to 10 minis, and the same logic then applies to trading 10 to 100, right? So the reality is that trading 1 mini to 10 minis, okay, let's just say you have $10,000 in your account, you run that up to $50,000, $60,000. Again, I'm just assuming the success factor here. I don't know everybody, so I'm assuming the success factor. And you want to increase size. Do you think you make the jump from 1 to 10? Probably not. Yeah, I'm break even. Doesn't really matter what happens. I mean, if I get stopped for 10 per ticks, it doesn't matter. Do you think you make the jump from 1 to 10? Probably not. You go from risking $5 a mini to $50, or $5 a trade to $50 a my brain can't compute. $5 a tick to $50 a tick, right? So, but the jump is never like 1, 10, 25, 50, 100. Like I don't know anyone that does this. Like, in complete honesty, it's always making the jump, right? And the jump normally is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 10. Right? It's linear. It's not stepping stone 1, 10, 25, 50, 100, etc. So doing that is the graduation cycle to larger size. But also, and again, I can't remember the exact way that Delhi said it, is getting familiar with larger size is, let's just say use Delhi's example. He would buy 10, sell 5 immediately just to get used to buying 10. And then he'd hold 5. Or he'd buy 10, sell 9 immediately. Just scratch them. Just cover fees, get out. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that either, right? So you have to have a logical reason to train your brain and your behavioral patterns into doing that. Give me a split second, guys. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. Sorry. And also, you don't need large size, right? Like, okay, let's just talk this through. Okay, we're up 230 ticks right now. Let me just change this from ticks to money quickly. Sorry, brackets. Okay, this one, sorry. This is up $1,100 right now on 1 mini. Okay, sweet. like, and I'm out. No, I'm about to be, or I'm not. I'm gonna just trail. In fact, I'm not gonna be a dick. I'm gonna close. Done. End of. There you go. It was hit anyway. And now I'm done. There's just no reason for me to look at this for the rest of the day. Car damage paid for. I bloody wish. I wish. Look, I'm just gonna. Okay, so look, we can celebrate the win, and I appreciate everyone for saying nice trade, like congrats, whatever. 100%, I love that from all of you. If you copied me though, I just want to tell you one thing: like, this is not the way to trade, right? Like, and this is not a sales pitch in any way, shape, or form, but like, you should fundamentally understand the reasons I trade the way I trade. You cannot just blindly copy me, because I got into this trade on the premise that this was going to be a losing trade. That was my logic. I said that multiple times before getting into the trade. I want this, like, this trade. If it doesn't play out, I want to be sized for the fact that if it doesn't play out, I'm over it. So you need to fundamentally understand the reasons, and I will go over the reasons as to why I got into the trade. Right. So it's just also a lot of people. Kane, VWAP, close at VWAP. We have news at 10:30. Like, all this stuff. Like, I have gone through the resilient period of trying to just ignore everyone else's opinions in my trading. And like I said on the right at the start, there are things in this market that should or shouldn't happen, and people use different things for different reasons. There are 1,001 ways to skin the cat in this game. The truth of the matter is you need to figure out a way to skin the cat for yourself, either by learning from someone or figuring it out on your own. The learning path looks different for everybody, but you have to have a reason for doing the things you do in the market and not just doing something because someone else is doing it. That is a loser mentality. I'm sorry, that just is. And that's horrible to say that to a lot of people. But like, copying someone else long-term is only going to keep you reliant on that person. And everybody should become a free thinker in the market. Like, that's just how I feel. And if you don't feel that way, I wish you the best of luck in this market. I know it's not going to go the way you hope. But yeah, that's just it. Okay. Why did I get into this trade, right? I don't really care about where we are in the market, and I will just explain this on the premise of where we currently are. We had this all-time high marked out at 23,100, right? ES, absolutely nowhere near it, but also taking out that prior day high on Monday. So NQ overextended. The 4 hour, and I said this, I could have got long at 2 at this low, right? Same reason I got short here, right? It's marking out the previous 4 hour low, waiting for a move lower that creates some sort of gap, a single print, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, right? All I care about is an entry criteria that once we reclaim this low, I am able to get long or short off of this and move high, and for it to move higher. So you could have got long here off this 5 minute, bang, traded up to this high, done. You'd have had to sit around and watch this expansion with me, just like everyone else. But the exact same thing here, right? All I care about is that 9 o'clock expands into the high, and then 10 o'clock caps it off. So let's just mark out that hourly high at 9. Just going to full screen my screen. So this is, how do I do this? So this is that hourly high at 9. This is 9:50, 9:55. This is 10, right? I'm actually just going to, when you know, you know. I'm actually just going to make the wicks a different color. No, I'm not. I'm just going to zoom in because the wicks are too thick. Okay, so you see these wicks now, right? So here you have this as a high. So it sweeps the low, pushes up, takes the high. For me, all I care about is that this level at 10 o'clock, this 10 o'clock open fails, and then we're able to trade lower. That's it. That's all I care about. So what happens at 10 o'clock? We mark out 10 o'clock open. It's here. We just marked it out. And then we have this gap, right? This gap up. Like this. This is it. We push through it. I want to get short right here, and I want to see this fail. And it fails. That's it. Where do I want to get out? For me, I want to use this as an area to trade from. And this aligns very much well open with the opening range. And for me, I can now just look to, I don't need to do anything now because I caught this. This is it, right? And like I said to everyone when they were like, what, just long and go away. Okay, well, that didn't play out today. Sucks to suck. It works some days. But like, this is a prime example of like why I never do that. Do you know what I mean? So all I look for is 10 o'clock trades above 9. What's the significance of 10? Well, 10 is a 4-hour candle. There are 4 4-hour candles in the day. So if we're going to cap off the range at some point, it will be with a 4-hour candle, typically around the open or around the close. That's it. So all I need to do is trade those 4-hour opens and 4-hour closes. Well, newsflash, the 4-hour open and the 4-hour closes are at the same time. The 6 a.m. 4-hour candle closes at 10. And then all I look for is basically just that basic accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And now tell me how this looks like this. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And that's it. Fuck me, it's so hot in my office. It's 1,000,000 degrees up here. The weather just got really hot. Do you also note bodies after they close? Or no? Do I have AC? No, bro, I don't have AC up here. It's broken. Actually, I don't have AC up here. It's just downstairs right now. But I need to. How do you fix your mindset of taking profits too early? Do the reps, go back test how you want to take profit and figure out what works for you. For me, I think holding on to my trades for longer keeps me out of bad trades. That's it. Like this is done. I'm done. I don't need to look at this for the rest of the day. I also had a shit morning. So I feel very grateful the fact that I played the market and I come out on top. Buy one. Yeah, I mean, have. Okay. Thank you. Why the 30 and not the 1 minute? This is the 1 minute. I used 30 seconds. This 30 seconds the exact same here, right? It's just the exact same gap. Look, I'm not giving the full breakdown of my model. This is just how I frame trades. How I get in and get out and manage risk and do all those things. It's specific to me, chat. Like I said, I don't want someone to rely on me. I don't want someone to trade like me consistently. You need to do the reps by yourself and you need to just figure this stuff out. People can help you along the way, but like also I don't live your life and I can't adopt a trading style that suits you or me. And also, I don't know how honest you are with me, you know, all these things. So like, you just have to, you actually do have to figure this out sometimes. And that's just so hard. Anyone sitting there saying to you, I guarantee you are going to make money doing this if you copy me, blah, blah. That guy is just a fraud, guys. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. Anyone giving you a guarantee in anything financial related, it's just an idiot. Sue them legitimately. If they give you a guarantee and it doesn't play out, sue them. End of. I typically take a trade a day. That's probably forcing it, to be honest, love break. I don't need to trade every day. They're less probable than some days than they are other days. But like, I can do it because I understand the model very well, my model very well, and I understand my edge. And there are days when I was in Cape Town in January where I was like, prior day high, prior day low taken. I just won't touch it. The model's probably going to play off of previous day high or whatever, and then we melt to previous day low again. I'm like, oh, that was annoying. The same month they made $1 million. Like, do you know what I mean? It's different. And there are some days like this month, I've probably traded the least I've traded this year. The January, I definitely traded the most. I traded every day, multiple times a day. But like, I was pushing it, chat. I was going for it. Yeah, look, I think there's no secret that trading 1 mini after trading 100 minis consistently for months, it's just boring. Yeah, of course it is. But these one-sided delivery markets do not suit me. Okay, I got a win today. Great. Devin trades my model pretty well. He got smoked the last 2 weeks. I also took some losing trades the last 2 weeks. I had some winners, had some losers. Overall, I was about break even. But yeah. Yeah, I do trade London, yeah. I just trade the same thing, but just at 6 or 2, depending when I'm awake. But yeah. When you know. Any advice how to get in a trading rut? Take a break. Honestly, some of the best things I've ever done in trading is just not trade. Sounds cliche. Sounds like, oh yeah, Kane, whatever. Like you're just lying, whatever. I'm telling you, when I've gone on winning streaks and I've taken a break, I've typically avoided any till, any losing streak, any bad price action, whatever. And then guess what? I go on another winning streak and it just compounds. Same thing for a rut. When I'm in a rut, like I just simply stop trading for a while, go on holiday, do something else, back test, like don't actually trade. And I come back with like a new approach. I go through my checklist every day. I do anything else. Like, yeah, my breaks are anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, but I also accept I'm in a very privileged position. I don't have to work every single day. I can just not work for the next month and my life is completely indifferent. I'm giving you very privileged advice when I say that, and I understand that. You guys are in the I need to make it, I want to make as much money, I want to do all this. That's the hardest time, chat. That's the hardest time because you put so much pressure on yourself. Get a job or double down on your job, get comfortable, get some money behind you, trade when your time's free, don't force it, and you'll see this stuff come to you a lot. It will just come to you more. You will just have more success. Do I trade with any prop firms? I don't really want to talk about prop firms right now, in all honesty. I think it's actually me not liking prop firms is probably a bad statement. I think they're necessary. I think they provide a lot of good. I think for the average person, they can be really good. However, they also don't do a lot of good. But I don't want to go into that. But I'm really thankful that Apex paid me $2 million at the end. Simple. Nothing more to say on that. Is the lab the only way to learn from you? Yeah, or you join these streams every Wednesday and figure it out. I also know a lot of people that have gone through my Twitter, watched the Chart Fanatics video, figured out my model, back tested it, and messaged me and said thank you. And those guys have never paid me $1. I'm on every Wednesday. Is my model in the lab? It is, and I will just straight up tell you, it's not well documented right now. I need to get better at probably documenting it in a much more consolidated way. We're not perfect. And I appreciate you all. Still searching. Something is missing in my technique. Admire how you try to answer all the types of questions. Yeah. Do you want to know why? And I've said this on here before. Is believe this or not, and I understand that a lot of you probably don't accept this. I was once in your shoes, and I will continue to do the things that I would have wanted someone else to do for me. This is an indicator to you, J. Rich. There are free indicators. There are paid indicators. It's just called Power of Three. And yeah. How do you... That's a very, very, very long topic, Lido. I'll do a video on it. Deal? Deal. No, I appreciate you, Frank. Chat, I'm looking down, by the way, because my camera's here. My thing's here, and I've got the chat on my iPad down here. 50 ES sell went through. Khan is the man. Selling. How do I use the VWAPs? I don't. I'm trolling Leo and Stowe and XY and Merit and all the other order flow traders who I have a lot of respect for, by the way. It's just a bit of friendly lad banter between the boys. How do you use firms to reach out saying they don't? Did some firms reach out to you saying they don't want you to milk them? No comment. What do you think is the main difference between people that make it in trading and the ones that don't? You know what? I actually I think Stowe says this best, right? Stowe claims to be incredibly dumb about trading. He just likes to make informed decisions. Like he feels like he's dumb and he figures it out, and he's just is the what's the term? Is the he just doesn't profess to be an expert. He does the thing that makes sense to him over and over. It works out. He makes money. I think people that obsess over something for a prolonged period of time have an incredibly higher chance of being more successful at it. People that jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing because they're chasing this such shiny object have a much lower chance. And then a little late using T's model. Makes sense? I got like consistently profitable around my I'm at around my like 4th serious year of trading. Yeah. So I never see you use fibs, but fibs helped me out a lot. Volume price, your method is very simple. You don't use volume. It amazes me. Shout out to Two Trades. Kane, you know what Vietnam country? Why? I don't know. I don't understand the question. I implore you all, right, to go and watch. I can't remember the video. there's a golf video, and I can't remember who it is. And there's a golf coach that basically has a go at some very, very, very good golfer. I can't remember exactly who it is. And he gets annoyed because he hits a bad golf shot. And the coach looks at him and goes, "Wow, are you that ignorant enough to think that you can't make a bad golf swing?" Okay. And just walks off. The golfer's like stunned, like, okay, fair enough. Just leaves it all on the table and goes and just absolutely plays the next hole perfect. It's just, you are gonna lose. Like, I will lay the house on you losing at some point. It's gonna happen. It's a guarantee. Lock in. But it's how you handle it. Like, most people that don't like losing are just oversized. Tick. People that don't like losing have some sort of ego problem. Tick. Why do you feel like you're so much better at some of the smartest people in the world that do this, that also lose consistently over a period of time? You just need to accept it. Accepting that you're going to lose and how you deal with that is going to be better than, I need a strategy that just never loses. Great. And I also want to be a quadricadillionaire, like. ChatGPT lost today, by the way, on the long or short. So statistically, I'm already better than ChatGPT at trading. That's crazy, chat. There you go. Butch Harmon. That's the video. I'll find it. Don't be so ignorant as to think you can't hit a bad shot. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I missed some questions. Do you find the right strategy since there's so many information out there? A lot of them are scammers as well. Most of this stuff's for free on the internet, chat. You can figure this stuff out. Like, if you go to I'm speaking about me, sorry, ignorant to pretty much the rest of the world. If you want to figure my stuff out without needing me to point you in a direction and talk you through it hand by hand, then you could go to my Twitter. You could watch the Chart Fanatics video. You could, most of it's on my Twitter, honestly. You can just find out all my trades on Twitter, find the common thing that's in most of them. I mark most of it out. So, yeah.
Mr. Kane, good morning, my friend.
Mr. Stowe, how are you?
Hi, bud. Great. I'm excited. I'm here on a Wednesday. I get to hang out with you.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. Did you catch anything this morning?
Yeah. No, I was.
It's also using your webcam, by the sounds of it.
Is it? Oh, damn
it. Yeah, you sound like you're in a fishbowl.
All right. Well, we can't have that. All right, let's see.
Oh. He's coming back. Stow's in a barrel. My targets are most often standard deviations. Yeah, most of the time. You'll bet me $1 million that the sun comes up tomorrow in the world somewhere. You'd need to give me the man in the black van from the CME took Stowe. Sorry, chat. He's gone. we're gonna all have to pray to the CME to get Stowe back. We let out too many market secrets today. They came to take me, and Stowe got in the way. He was a worthy sacrifice. No, I appreciate it, Devin. Bring back Stowe. Bring back Stowe. Appreciate you, Raz and T-Dog. What keyboard do I use? This is a high ground keyboard right now. No, I can just show you it. It's this. It's fucking heavy. Look, listen. It's heavy. Just to your 9 a.m. low. You'll notice I actually haven't even moved the chart. I haven't literally given a donkey about it. But, oh, he's back.
Fix it. Do I sound like I'm in a tunnel?
Wow, you sound so much better. You sound like Stowe, the Stowe that I know.
Good. Okay,
good. Yeah.
My kid was messing with all my my stuff yesterday. She was having a rock show in here. So
another reason for me to never have a child. Thanks.
I'm not surprised.
About that in the stream, man.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it's also
I've got
insane.
I've got a lot of nieces and nephews. I can get my child dopamine hit from there. Yeah.
You're good then. Yeah.
So talk me through your day so far. Got long, got short.
Oh yeah. No, I got super long and was having the best day ever. And then giant context shift, and then it chewed me up the whole way back down. This is kind of my kryptonite day, and I did not handle it very well, to be honest. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at. I gave all of it back, so that sucks. And then so now I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to do, if anything. And I'm just looking at all my high time frame charts. Like, well, we retraced the whole thing. This looks terrible for longs now. Yeah. So
These are the days that suit me better, I guess. But like I was saying to the chat, there's absolutely nothing that stops this just going higher for the rest of the day, which is why I understand why so many people were probably long to their, to their teeth. But I play, these days where we have the complete reversals and grab that move on with my life and come back. And no doubt tomorrow will be the infinite bid. We'll be back here again.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. These big context change days, they tend to slap me for sure. And then, we're coming into the end of like this 11 to 11:30 reversal time. Yeah, now we've kind of hit all the stuff I want to get long again. So I'm trying to hawk that.
Yeah.
But like you said, you're bound to lose. You can't just win the whole time.
I mean, if we could win all of the time, you would never see me on the internet, by the way.
Right.
I would be enjoying my 43 yachts in every different ocean of the world. I'd probably just own one of the oceans at that point.
Which one do you choose?
I'd take the Gulf of Mexico. No, I'm kidding. That's
the Gulf of America. That's the Gulf of America. Thank you very much.
Just the joke. Anyway, I would probably take some ocean in Greece. Yeah, forgive me, geography's not my thing. The Aegean, that one sounds pretty good. Yeah, or the one in. I'd probably just own Saint Tropez. Yeah, I'd just buy the lot. Yeah. So yeah. No. In all seriousness, I understand why you'd want to get long here. I'm done. Good luck. What point is that's it? You're over. The chat were asking me, what's my criteria for being done on the day? What's yours?
Well, I don't know. It's tricky because we do this show, so there's if I'm doing an afternoon show, I can't quite be done. I still have to have the market in my mind, but if I am just, left to my own devices, just trading for myself, I'm probably done at noon. I'm done looking at it. Or if I hit, if we get to a point where the day looks to have played out and we're just consolidating somewhere, like right now we're still moving. We're either going to retrace this whole thing like it never happened, or this context really has changed and we're going to trend down. So that's why I haven't clicked the buy button yet, because I want to, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
So I guess let me ask the question they're going to ask you, right? Knowing the chat is, okay, so you're looking for a long, but you just gave a scenario as to where it obviously just continues lower. For you, what are the I guess also for me actually, is what would the context be? Why can't you just sell it here?
I don't know how much is left on so the sell, the good entry was probably this when I was trying to long. So yeah, this is where my bias came in and smacked me. Let's go ahead and look at me trading like an idiot. So we get this big sell. Obviously, this is a giant context change. We get down into this lower VWAP band, and the band slopes way down. This is, trend sign when this flips like this. Now it flipped from a gigatrend to a gigatrend, so that's why I didn't catch it when I did. But I'm trying to catch this long here, and what I'm seeing as like in my face, this is a passive seller that has now come all the way down, and now he's working here, absorbing any bid that's coming in. So that's why everybody came up here and got smoked. I had a great long here that I was just trying to get greedy on and let run the whole way back to the highs, and so that's why I only took one off, and it came back in my face. So I've played this all very poorly, and the sign was here. Passive seller in my face. But I mean, it could keep going, because this passive seller has continued to walk down and provide resistance. I just don't know how much is left in the day for the downside, because now we're back in balance again, back in that previous zone. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't want to continue short here. I'm also just not that good at shorting the whole actively with good results. So that's the other reason.
Yeah. See, we're just opposites. You love to long these moves up, and I love to short them as they break out and fail back inside. That, I guess, what Pharm calls that look below, look above, and fail. That's like my optimal. You're like playing the continuation away from that, where I just play the reversion, take the paper cut, and let it. When people are starting to get long, I'm like, yeah, cool. That's my, or get short. That's my area to just cut it and let it and be done with it and move on.
Yep. It's just a skill I don't have, man. But that's like, it's that way with everybody. Everybody figures out their little pattern they like, their brain likes to see. And
you also have the skill I don't have. I would love to be able to just walk up to a bullish chart, see 930 break out, and go, yeah, they're buying this, I'm getting in. Like, I just don't have it in me to do that. Like, I just suck at that so much. So I guess my point is just everyone trades differently. Again, the thing we always say, and everyone says it, there's a million ways to skin this cat. As long as people make money, that's all that matters. So
yep. I also think that's why it's so. I heard you say pretty much everything on the internet is a scam, and you're not wrong. I was thinking about this last night. What other business exists where to try to get into it, you have to wade through such a sea of crime.
I think we probably have like trading goggles on, and because we've gone through it, we're like, holy crap, it's really bad. But I imagine it's like this in a lot of industries. Probably not as bad, but there is obviously some stuff like exactly like diet, healthcare, all those things. Like I could tell you now, bro, there's so many diet scams out there that my sisters have fallen for over the years. Like, Jesus Christ, like it's just silly. You know what I mean? It's just silly.
Yep.
So there's obviously a lot of things out there, but we just have trading goals. But yeah, it's bad in general, right? Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's what's the time? It's 4 p.m. for me. I'm gonna go and have dinner. I'm gonna go into London, have dinner, enjoy my afternoon.
Sounds good, brother.
I'll see you when I see you, sir. Chat, appreciate you all. Stick around for Stowe. I'll see you guys. Ciao.
Peace, buddy. Good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, Nautilus. Morning, Alex. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Yep. Passive seller still walking us down. Nasty work. Yeah, I traded today very, very poorly. Not stoked. This is definitely my kryptonite day. Kind of messing with the previous month high right now. I don't know. We're at the ATR low. Just trying to get my bearings in general here, and it's like, I guess we're not. So we could come all the way back down to 900. Again, my London Open zone is gone. I don't know why, but it's at 900 to 890. I can fix that for us real fast. I don't know why this is like this. What green would you like to choose today, chat? Let's do chartreuse. How about that? There it is. Wow, that's a horrible color. That's the grossest green of all time. Yeah, friends. Tough day, man. Tough day. What happened with my early long, Danny? So it went great. I made a ton of money, and then I just tried to stay on it, which is, part of my strategy. That's when I make my most money is when I press super hard. And yeah, I just got chewed up the whole way back down. That reversal it was no mercy. So when that happens, I end up getting run over. And it's a hole in the game. So right now, I'm just sitting here trying to recover mentally, have a good head on my shoulders, and see where we can take it from here without hitting our DLL. You put in a lot of selling that didn't get anywhere at that previous month high. I don't love that this low is just sitting here like this. And here's this passive seller. So I need to see this defeated before I get too excited. If we go back and look, the London Open was, it's a million years ago, and then we just blasted off of the Open. Left this small gap here, pretty small. Yeah, I guess it was 940. Yeah, about here. Small gap which filled. Again, I was looking for a gap and go based off of this, giant opening drive. I did not think that gap was going to come back and fill. So wrong on that. When the stat back. Can't you see the liquidity sweep? Can I see it? I love this, Constantine. You don't understand when the chat starts telling me what to do. It's incredibly difficult for me not to do the opposite of that thing. I'm still doing that flat here. Trey, I'm not doing anything at the moment. I'm not super interested in a short now that we've come back into all of this volume. Here, I'll show you on the high time frame. The short was there. I missed it completely. Let's look at this. All right, let's look at this crime scene. All right, so here we have a balance area that's been, worked for since the 6th, but this has been obviously you can see it with the volume profile. Really, really busy volume node, and now we're accepted back inside of this. If you look here where the gray gets darker, this is the value area of a 5-day rolling volume profile. And we just, XY will tell us later, this is a pretty big dead body up here that we just left up again. So now we've accepted back into this node. We're also retesting these highs. So this is really where I'm looking at weekly open 980 area. We need to get back out of here. Otherwise, we can continue to traverse this value. It's going to be messy, though. Going back through value is not a smooth operation. It's not going to be easy. So if I'm going to try to get on this short, I'd like to see an entry up here. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm just going to chill. We have these view ups down here. Month open. Yeah. Either way, my read's wrong. So, or it was correct. And then big context reversal that I missed. So we need to chill. We need to relax. Yes, it's obviously bearish. You're right. So clear. So clearly a bearish day today. Morning, Nick. It's just I just don't like when people speak in absolutes like that. Nothing was bearish about this open. Yeah, we poked above previous day high or the previous week high, made a new all-time high, and then reversed. Yeah, it's depending on your time frame, you can be bearish or bullish. It doesn't matter to me specifically. But just don't get stuck hindsighting stuff like that. It's not healthy. I'm trying to trade this stuff right here. You guys see this part of the chart with nothing on it? That's what I'm looking at. I'm not paying much attention to this stuff to the left. I'm looking at this blank space where things haven't happened yet. This is called the hard right edge. And this is what is tradable. You can't trade this stuff back here. It already happened. So what will determine you go up or go down? What levels are you looking at? None really at the moment. Previous month highs right here. Lots of stuff, but this passive seller is following price down for now. And now that we're back in, the speed of everything is slowed down now that we're back inside of this large node here. Which is just, that's just going to happen. Whenever you get into spots with more inventory, it's going to slow down. So right now, this is selling that isn't going anywhere yet, but this is buying that isn't going anywhere. And based on the context of the day that we're in now, I'm not trying to long into this passive seller at this low. This would be, I mean, this would be a big knife catch down here, I think. I mean, especially with this, like that's a terrible low. They just took it out now, which might be good enough. Kind of poked 925. There's some bid stepping in. But I mean, any sort of bid down here is going to need to be like really convincing. I imagine we're going to get down to this this London OR, and then maybe I'll have an opportunity to make a decision then. Kind of retest these highs. But again, I need something really substantial. Yo, Omni. Good morning, buddy. Good, Constantine. I'm glad you're making money, bud. It's important. It's important that people from all different sides of the market can make money in the same day. John, maybe look at MGC too. Is that Magic the Gathering? I'm just kidding, John. Why would you chart micro gold instead of gold? Is there? That's a real question. Like, I don't know. So I chart NQ and not MNQ. What's the difference in volume in micro gold versus gold? Is MGC a heavier contract volume traded? No. I mean, dude, yeah, not okay, fair enough. I just wondered if there was any like any specific edge in charting one over the other. Oh, fair enough. Okay. So what I'm looking for in this price action in general is just like you see these lower lows. This might be good. This 930 is a good spot. This is that's the monthly VWAP. 925. Swept those 930 lows. Previous month high 934. All right, so now I need to see this reaction up here. If we can make new highs. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Okay, so micro gold is heavier. Okay. So just like NQ and MNQ. Interesting. A weekly view up. Sorry. Thank you. I see. Yeah, the monthly's at 868. Okay. So still a ways to go. All right, never mind. I care about that a little less. Oof, this seller's still up here. Watching this. Okay, here's the previous day high. Right now, at 965. And the monthly opens right here too. So this is all an important place. I'm gonna try to watch this. I'm not sure it did, France. I'm not sure. The infinite bid, maybe. We have a lot more to clear before I'm willing to look at that. But I am looking at this as maybe possible context shift in the price action. So we stopped grinding down. Certainly flipped, and we've beaten this passive seller here. We're at the weekly open right now. Let's look at the volume on the day too. I mean, we put the point of control down here. Yep, just watching. Yeah. ES is looking a little worse. Yikes. Man, that thing got murdered. Woof. Yeah, ES is still stuck down there. Yeah, Jeff. It's definitely tricky to, spotting any context shift is hard. Because you have to get, also I missed one, a very big one, and it cost me a lot of money today. So I'm being a little, maybe I'm being cautious. I might be overcorrecting, but that's better than the alternative. Yeah, let's see if we can get back through this. Let's see, big offer at 980. Let's see if they fill him. Hey, Jim. Good morning, my friend. Okay. This is the spot I wanted to watch for. Filled the 980 guy. Seller seems to be stepping in. Turn's going to be in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, Sid, sometimes, or Syed, I'm sorry. Sometimes I use the anchored view up, yeah. So it's pulled off my NinjaTrader chart for some reason. Nice. Okay, so we finally got a reset there. Lots of bid to push back through this. Let's see if this has some legs. Bid's really stepping in there. Definitely seems like it could be a context change. No, I use the DOM too, Cody. And that's the DOM is also order flow. I prefer the at bid and at ask columns on a DOM to a footprint chart. I find it gives me a similar look. But I also look at things like pulling and stacking, and then time and sales too. Let's see. I'm trying to keep a tight leash on this, but the bid looks good here. So at least looks like it's continuing to step in. That's a reload. Okay, we're retesting our area here. Good. Little fight here in the 80s. Nope. Pull that off. Take a half stop. Okay, come back to the G line. And G line is the weekly open also, which is, so it's right here. About 970-ish, 968. Okay. Now we should have a better chance at it there. Before we were on the wrong side of the V. If this is going to bounce here, we'll at least be on the correct side of the V. Okay, London is closed. So that's good. I'll try to get at least up here. Let's see. Check these lows. Okay. I'll tighten that stop too. Yeah, tough to say. The offer definitely stacking back on up here. Nice long, Nick. Nice long. I did not want to get in that 930. I did not believe it was yep. Only got one more bullet left for this thing. If it's going to try it. Previous day high right here. Oh, nasty work. That's what I get for tightening my stop loss. Nice, this big seller coming in here now. Ah. I keep pulling back to this G line. Keep pulling back to that weekly open. My bid keeps stepping in there. More passive selling. Can we bid through them? Can we get through them? Got to cross bid. You need to cross if you want to get through them. There we go. Got the Delta Map star there at least. Got one forming. Okay. Oh, this 980 spot's so sticky. This seller just keeps piling on. Yeah. There's a lot of bids supported there. Let's see if that can hold, or if that's just going to be an aggressive seller rewarded at the G line again. Definitely an inflection. Definitely a point of inflection right here. This is also the anchor VWAP from the low. See how some of this delta's coming in and then going away. That's just business being transacted there. So as that math changes in real time, so that's not, yep, see, there's a bunch more bid. I mean, they're absorbing. We just need to see some initiation there. And I'm not seeing any. The offer's walking it down. Goes like that some days, chat. It goes like that. Do I think it's a good idea to trade the Dow without looking at NQ? Sure. There's no reason you don't have to look at the NQ to trade the Dow. Well, let's see what ES did there. At least I need to try to make some sense of that. No real sense to make. Nope. Wow, that was a quick reclaim. That was a lot of buying down there. Previous week value area high, 940s, I guess. I don't know. Your stop was 940. Fair enough. I guess that does make sense. I guess, Chubby Panda. I guess they did. I don't see it, though. So if I don't see it, I can't trade it. I definitely can't trade it now because I'm too mad. So yeah, I can't take any more trades. If I did, it would just be for spite. And as much as I joke about spite fills, like you really shouldn't trade if you're pissed off. So that's why we can't. I don't normally get mad, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm in a weird headspace today. What is today? Wednesday. I was just telling Jim last week that I I wish I could switch to Wednesdays. Jim, if you're listening, that was a horrible plan. Wednesdays, back off the books. Is it the moon? Lito, what's the moon doing? Do we have moon cycle indicators on NT? Oh, let's just look. Moon. Nope. Unfortunately, no. No moon cycles. I can't throw anything on. You're looking at Mars. Yeah, it's either the gamma or the moon. It's somebody's fault. Yeah, I didn't see, this is not a bunch of this was not selling that was trapped. Like there's nothing down here. There's no red team. That would be trap selling. You could see it. This is selling that was rewarded on that push. But yeah, Chubby Panda, if there was trap selling on that leg, it would be, in here, and there just isn't no math to support it. I don't think I even pulled the trigger on that if I wasn't too pissed to trade. I still don't think I take that because I've got no stats to back that up. Oh, full moon tomorrow? That'll be cool. I think it's going to be nice out. Try to take the kid out and look at some stars. That'd be cool. She's been wanting to do that. But she can't stay up late enough. The kid goes to sleep at I don't know. It's like 8:45 on the couch and she can't make it to the end of a movie. It's so funny. Summertime kids. I wish I could sleep like that, man. If you have a little kid and you watch how hard they sleep, it's enough to make you jealous of their sleep. Kane's having dinner. T-Trades. He told me. He's like, it's 4:00. It's time for dinner, which seems odd to me, but maybe, I don't know. Is that what time you folks eat dinner in the UK? You guys eat at 4:00? Small big man and big small man both said hi to me at the same time. Are you the same person? 4 is tea time. Okay. Is that real? Oh, did we get more tariffs? Is that what's going on? Fair enough. That's good. That's good. Yes, the blue plate special flight here. 2 Cent Harry asks, what is your style of trading? Volume? I use volume for sure. I use a volume profile, which I consider to be structure. But mostly I'm just looking at order flow. and using that as places to initiate off of the idea of a day. But this day has reversed on me possibly 3 times now, so I have worn out my bullets on this day. That is for sure. Moldova. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem, Harry. I'm just a scalper. Just futures, not options. Nah, I'm not long. Okay. We got Libya, Iraqi tariffs. Cool. Cool. Gonna be tough to find the process win today, folks. It's gonna be tough to find the process win today. We got 12 minutes to find it. CRJ driver. What settings do you want? What do you want to see, bud? I'll show you whatever. Yep. I use 750 volume candles. Yep. It's pretty standard other than that. A lot of my stuff, like the coloring of the candles, the different MGI that you see labeled, that's all Order Flow Labs stuff. Polly says, today will be the shortest day in history as Earth's rotation unexpectedly speeds up. July 9th, 22nd, and August 5th are expected to be between 1.3 and 1.51 milliseconds shorter than the standard day. Whoa, that's cool. That's a fun fact. Thank you, Polly. That's super cool. Do you guys ever notice that, like, the clock in your car will gradually get off by like a minute or two? Does that happen to anybody else or just me? I have a theory that my clock slowly gets off in time because I'm moving. You know, if you're a person, if there's any physicists or smart people in the chat, maybe you can help me with this. So if I spend like 5 hours a day driving 60 miles an hour against the Earth's rotation, right? Am I time traveling in like microseconds? Is that true? Flight here seems smart. Can you help me? Am I actually time traveling, or is my clock wrong? Okay, Jim says no. Are you sure? Are you sure I'm not micro time traveling? I don't think it's the clock. My 2010 Toyota Prius clock is really good. Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying. It seems a little suspicious that the more I drive, the slower that clock becomes. What do I know? I'm not a scientist. Not a scientist. I'm just some guy punting futures around and wondering if I might be casually time traveling. That's what I'm saying. Milliseconds over the life of the car. But if I drive a lot, those milliseconds add up, right? That's what I'm saying. So, Very Science, thank you for stepping in. And also, I can tell by your username that you know what you're talking about. So, according to relativity, the faster you go, the slower time is for you relative to those going slower. So, as my car, it spends a ton of time at 60 miles an hour. It's time traveling. And if I'm inside of that car, it's time traveling too. So, over the course of, I don't know, I've had that car for like 15 years. That's like 4 minutes at 15 years. No, it's not a DeLorean, unfortunately. That would be sick. I've always just wanted to even see a DeLorean. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it is happening. Flight here confirms that it is happening, but it's not enough milliseconds to matter. That's a lot. That's wow. I'm just dabbling in physics. I'm not trying to get a job scalping physics. I'm just a man out here trying to figure out why his clock is slowing down. And that seemed like the most reasonable explanation that I could come up with. I would honestly just like to see a DeLorean in real life. That would be cool. I hope on this terrible trading day that I've had that I've at least made Flight here happy that they had to look at all this math to prove how stupid this theory was. I don't know, Mr. Deck. I guess that's a good point. Yeah, this just looks like a mess now. Back to the order flow. Passive seller, selling rewarded. Below the previous day high, below the weekly open. Left everything humanly possible in the rear view up there. So, not great. Is that a real study? That was cool. That sounds awesome. 2 people traveling in opposite directions around the world age differently. Is that really real? Constantine, I wasn't laughing at you. You just said hindsight stuff to me in the chat. And when people do that, it's not it's not tradable information. I'm happy that you made money on your short. If you feel like it makes you feel better to flex in the chat about that, that's great. But that's not really what we're here to do. But yeah, everybody I hope tons of people were short today. I mean, Kane should have been short. I don't know if he was because that's his setup. He loves a look above and fail. That's just not my setup. If one of the people is Vietnamese, he won't age at all. That's true. Did you guys know that my friend XY is 95? Is there a bond action? I don't think there is bond. Hold on, let me look. I can help you. Oh yeah, it's the bond auctions are always at 1 or 1:01. 1 o'clock and 1 minute is what my news thingy always says. So 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the bond auction, and then we do have those Fed minutes at 2. Those haven't been, super effective or meaningful. There's no real surprises lurking in there the last couple drops, but you never know. It does seem like XY has 95 years worth of trading experience, doesn't it? Okay. If I drive 100 miles an hour, well, the Prius can't go that fast, CRJ. But if I did, so I'm that much the speed of light, the effect is minuscule. But there is an effect, though. So you're saying there is an effect. DZ, I don't know. I don't think this is bullish or bearish. I think we're just back in this. It's a fake false breakout, I guess, of that balance area that we created since the 6th. Here's our high time frame guy if you want to look again. We're just back in this. Which, acceptance back in here, back in this 980, should traverse. It's not that many points, though. This node's not very big. It's only 200 points-ish wide. And yeah, going back through value is like, it's such a grind, especially from top to bottom. It's going to hit all these pockets and need to re-auction everything if it's going to make it to the other side. So, I don't know. We'll take a look at it. Well, it's noon, so it's time for me to get out of here. Cosmic, what are you looking for as a signal for you to take a long? Yeah, I don't really have one down here, man. This is all, I'm done for the day. In general, just for my own process, because I'm had too many bad reads. Tried this long up here twice to get out of this. It didn't work. So we're just churning around. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Deck. Tune in this afternoon. It's going to be, Who's this afternoon? It's going to be XY and Nick. Yep. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So come hang out with my friends, and I'll be in the chat too. I'd like to see what they think about this day. And then I'm also going to have to go back through a bunch of notes today. Today was a big enough loss that we got to go back through and check them out and try to find our process win today. I did promise Jared Tendler that I would continue to try to find my process win. Maybe my process win is not taking any additional trades after this stop run. I don't know, but we'll think about it. If you had a bad day today, that's okay. If you had a great day today, that's awesome. That's what makes a market. So the only thing we can do is just come back tomorrow and try to do better. So yeah, thanks chat. I appreciate you. And thanks for hanging with me, and we'll see you this afternoon.